Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of Heart of Gratitude. My name is Bethany Jordan.
And I'm Serena.
And today we're doing a different kind of episode, and we are going to talk about our trip to Guatemala and the missions trip that we just took back in August. I can't believe.
It's been 6 weeks.
I cannot believe it's already been like over a month that we went.
Yeah.
It's insane. So we wanted to share this whole experience with you guys. We'll be throwing up some pictures, maybe videos and all of that so you guys can see as well. So this is definitely an episode to watch and not just listen to.
If you're gonna listen, you're not gonna see the pictures and videos. We're gonna probably have to have 2 different versions of this.
Yeah, just 2, but FYI. For your information, it's more of a watching episode.
Yeah, so that's why we want to catch you early.
Yes. So we're gonna jump in talking about our experiences day by day, starting off day 1, and then I guess we can also talk about what we took from it as well.
Sure.
The verse that we were focusing on was in Isaiah.
And I heard the voice of the Lord saying, "Whom shall I send, and who will go for us?" And then I said, "Here I am, Lord, send me."
Yeah, so that was the theme verse for us. John, who is the youth pastor, he did devotionals with us every day before we went out to do anything, which was very beneficial. And so that was the main verse. So starting day 1 of this trip, doing a whole recap, we all got to the church pretty early, around
considering
7.
That's day 0 or day 1? Did we do
No,
anything
we
that
should
day?
do. Oh no, we didn't do anything that day. So that could be considered day 0 because travel days don't really count, right?
Yeah, I don't count travel days.
Yeah.
Especially when it was this far. We flew from LaGuardia to Houston, had a 3 or 4 hour layover.
It didn't feel that long.
No.
I feel like we got off the plane and we had to all just
Get to the next
rush
one.
over to the next gate.
So then we flew from Houston to Guatemala, and total air time was I don't know, it was a long time.
I don't like flying. I was miserable.
See, I don't mind flying. What I mind is the hustle and having to get there 3 hours early and then taking everything out of your bag to go through security. That's just annoying.
It's just a lot of unnecessary stress.
Yeah, and I understand why we have to do the things that we have to do in order to get onto an airplane.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's the part I don't like.
Yeah.
Get me to the gate, get me to my seat at the gate, not even on the plane, just the gate.
The gate. Just the gate.
I'm so happy. I'll walk around, do a little shopping.
No. I'm absolutely the type of person, once I get into the airport, it is mode switched on.
Yeah.
Let's get to the gate and then you could talk to me. Then we can relax. Then we can whatever. But up until then, I'm go, 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 because I'm also very much not a multitasker and I get sidetracked very, very quickly. And so if I'm not zoned in and airports, there's just so much going on, so the struggle is real. All my ADD people out there.
Oh, I know. I know that one firsthand.
But yeah, so that whole process and then the 2 flights and everything. But the second flight, because we were in Houston to Guatemala City, there was less people on the plane, so I got lucky and awesome. I didn't have anybody in between me and the guy next to me. It's funny because I was a middle seat and I'm I'd rather be, my preferred seat is definitely aisle seat.
Me too.
I like that because, I can get up if needed. I don't have to bother anybody. And, I can kind of stretch out my legs to the side for a couple of minutes. I know they're try to keep your legs in. But it's just when nothing's going on, I'm I just need to stretch my legs out just a minute.
Yeah.
Second, I would take the window. But preferably, I take the seat. So I got into my seat, and it was the middle seat, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be a rough plane ride, because the plane ride, one, I don't like flying, and the first flight was very crammed. Any flight from New York or to New York,
sold out.
It's gonna be sold out. It's gonna be booked. There's gonna be no extra space. It will be a miracle if there is.
When we went to Biso, wasn't that flight empty?
Coming back,
it was.
Yeah.
I was like, I know I took a flight, because I've been on a lot of flights this year. Praise God for that. But also, like, it's a lot of money I've spent on travel.
Yeah.
I knew there was a flight that was empty. And I was couldn't remember whether it was from Miami, and I'm thinking about it in my head while you're talking, and I'm like, it would never be from Miami.
No.
Ever.
No. But it's funny, because every time, like, anytime I'm going on a flight, like, the second I wake up to getting to the airport, going through security, getting on the plane, I'm, like, praying, because I hate flying. It terrifies me, so I'm just literally like, Lord, I'm just like, Lord, get me through this, because, oh gosh.
We had very different flight experiences going down to Houston, though.
Going down, yeah.
Can I talk about my friend real quick?
Oh, yes, yes.
So, I was seated from LaGuardia to Houston. I was in the back, the very last row of the plane. Mm-hmm. And for the most part, it was a quiet flight. Like, I had my headphones on. I was reading, and then the lady next to me had asked the flight attendant for, like, orange juice, I think it was. Okay. Or just something to spike her blood sugar, because she had diabetes and she felt her blood sugar going low. So, of course, I have just started Alios, Christ with Coffee on Ice. I had just started her podcast, and I was about to take notes, and I'm like, Lord, this lady probably just wants somebody to, like, talk to. And so I moved a headphone, and I was like, hey, like, are you okay? Like, blah, 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 whatever. And she was like, oh, like, I'm okay. It's just that I have diabetes, and I can just feel my sugar going low. It takes a while to spike it back up. So I just need, like, orange juice or something. And I was like, okay, like, no worries. Like, they're coming. Like, they're going to bring you something. That turned into another, I think it was the rest of the plane ride of just us talking the entire time. And she was so sweet. I guess she sits in the back because she has a wheelchair.
Oh, okay.
So I guess, she's the last one off the plane anyway.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, whatever, I'll just sit in the back. Found out her whole life story, found out about her kids and their life stories and her work and politics and religion, and talked about every, like, taboo topic that you could possibly talk about on this flight, and it went like that. And I was like, we're in Houston. I never got her name. I just know that she was going to her granddaughter's first birthday party.
Aww.
Yeah, her and her siblings were all trying to get from all over the United States down to Houston.
Okay.
So that was my plane ride down to Houston. And then Houston to Guatemala City, I was like, oh, there's nobody to talk to.
Yeah, because there's nobody there. There was, well, not nobody there, but there was nobody there. So, so I thought I was going to have to sit in the middle seat. Yeah. And then when they announced that everybody was boarded, I noticed that there was nobody there in the aisle seat, and I'm just like, thank you, Lord. I'm like, thank you.
I think that was the flights where the lady was like, isn't your phone supposed to be on airplane mode? No, I think that was coming... Was it coming home? All the flights are a blur to me. But yeah, we were still taxiing. I had taken my phone off of airplane mode for like 2 seconds just to like make sure everything was okay and to send out updates. And the lady next to me was like, it's not supposed to be on airplane mode. And I was like, I was just checking something. Girl, we haven't
even moved yet.
If we were in the air, it would be a different story.
That's a different story.
But we're on the ground.
Yeah. So we went through that very long travel day. We get to Guatemala City. They pick us up. The bus ride from the airport.
Oh my gosh.
To the house we were staying at. And if we didn't mention, this was through the organization Mana Worldwide. Yes. And so they were going to pick us up in a bus and everything. So getting off the plane, we're all like disheveled and we're trying to, make it to where we need to be. So we finally get everything thrown in the buses. There was a truck. They threw our luggage in the back. Well, they didn't throw our luggage, but they put our luggage in the back. And that bus ride, it was like a van bus or whatever, a bigger van. was interesting. It was just like very bumpy, and like then leading up to the house, there was like 2 gates we had to like go through.
2 security gates.
Yeah, so they opened one, and the drive up to the second gate was so bumpy. It was so funny.
Yeah.
And we were all like dying. We're all laughing, and you know, of course, like the group that went, like we're all just, I don't know.
Silly.
Yeah. We definitely make sure we have a fun time. Mm-hmm. I think that's just very us.
It's a lot of individual characters that come together and make a funny story.
No, for sure. Yeah, and everybody kind of adds to it in a specific way that makes it just better. So yeah, that first drive up, and then every single day driving out and in, we're all just like, hold on, everybody.
And then this is like jumping majorly ahead, but Scott, if you're watching this, Scott was our driver, and we would just cheer him on loud because just driving around Guatemala, I equate it to driving around Peru because we did that mission trip in 2018. But Peru, like, no rules on road. Yeah. You would have had a heart attack. Like, you would have physically had a heart attack. And I could not look out the window. I was like, oh my gosh. We would just cheer so loud for Scott because he was just trying so hard because our van was...
It was stick shift.
It was stick shift. So stick shift, driving over the roots, driving over dirt, driving over these hills, like...
Yeah.
It was hard. I do not envy Scott's job, but we thank Scott for
it. And then having to deal with all of us in the process of all of that. Great job.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was night 1. We get to the house, you know, we eat. I think we made sandwiches, right? Something like that. Or no, we didn't eat. No, we did.
We did.
We had sandwiches.
Yeah.
And then we like spread out, figuring out where we're gonna all sleep kind of thing, who's going in what room, like the typical, you know, it almost felt like a camp day.
Yeah.
Where it was just like, just then settling in and everything.
We can't forget how unique our bedroom was.
Oh, yes. I will throw in a photo. You have to see this. Say hi, Serena. We made a mess of this room. It was great. It was a 3-tier bunk bed.
A triple bunk.
So there was obviously a bottom, then a middle, and then a top. And we all walk into this room and we're just like, who is gonna do that? And I'm like, that will not be me. I move too much in my sleep, and I'm like, all I need is to fall off this 3-tier bunk bed and just, that's it, not leaving Guatemala. But the room, the group that we had in our room, that was fun.
Remember when we went to church and it was all sweaty afterward?
Yep. I remember.
Well, you remember sharing a bed with me?
No. I remember charging and being all sweaty after.
Do you remember flying on an airplane?
I do.
Kayla, do you remember watching the Olympics?
I do. Good night.
Bethany, do you remember when I told you you catch me on my worst moment?
Yeah.
So then we wake up the next day, and typically what they do is they'll have the beginning of the week leading up, it'll be jumping right into the mission field and right into what we have to do. But the day we got in, they don't do anything on Saturday or Sunday.
Right.
Well, no, not Sunday. but Saturday is typically their like day off kind of thing. So we got in on Friday night. Mm-hmm. So Saturday we started our trip off with doing something fun. So it was a nice way to start this trip. And so we went zip lining. And so that was really cool. And so we got up, we went zip lining.
Not so small road. Yeah.
Serena. And then also we went to a couple of other spots. We went to Antigua.
Yeah, the shops.
So then we went to the marketplace, which was really a cool experience.
Yeah, that was fun.
And like I said, I know I'm just like talking through all of this, but there'll be videos and there'll be, you know, pictures. So expect a little bit of a longer episode.
Yeah.
If you're interested in, you know, hearing and watching our experience. So yeah, then we went to, you know, the market, and Rich was his name, right?
Yeah.
He took us there and he showed us a couple spots. He's like, yeah, go to this shop, go to this shop. And so yeah, so then we were, you know, buying a bunch of stuff. That's where the bulk of the purchases were, and I got like my parents stuff and myself stuff. It's a whole time.
All right.
We're doing it, Johanna. Are you starting?
Oh, Lynn, you start.
Okay.
Okay, Serena, take us through.
I have this hat.
Is it for?
Wait, what does it say?
Your boyfriend.
Put the hat on. Put the hat on.
Okay.
We don't know how it looks. We don't know what a hat looks like. Get ready.
Okay, now you got to do the rest of the hole in that hat.
Okay. Point to her with the put on the outfit first.
And then
Come on,
I got
plenty of room.
bracelets.
Amazing.
All of them were free.
Amazing.
Free.
Oh,
It's not.
this ride is
Special guest in the background.
Oh, nice. Wave, say hi. Hey.
And then I got these two bookmarks.
Nice. Nice.
That's a haul.
All right. Who's next? Who's doing their hole next?
Right here.
Johanna.
I'm next.
I also got the magnets. Okay.
Amazing.
So, hold on. Wait. I'll show you the magnets. They're fun. All right.
My sweaty head's got to come out of it.
Where's the one for me? Oh no. Where'd it go? Okay.
We're like-
Mother-in-law.
Amazing.
Us. Coffee beans, obviously.
Oh, that's so cute.
And my parents.
Nice.
All right. And then can't forget about little man. He gets his own.
Aww.
And then I got a shirt. And then go serve love.
Oh, nice.
And then coffee. So and then these 3 bags that they came in.
Nice. All right, Mercy.
Okay.
She has a big bag.
Do you have a lot of batteries?
I have all the battery.
I have this outfit, the whole outfit.
Yes.
See?
It's so cute.
Oh, the yellow is nice. The yellow is
Kind
nice.
of like outfit.
The yellow pops.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, I love it.
And then I matched with the beautiful earrings.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to see her earrings, honestly.
First, I buy my husband a t-shirt.
Yes, Brian.
Nice.
Okay, Brian.
Yes.
Yeah, I hope you get shown the front and the back.
Hold to serve. That's what it says on the back.
Everybody knows how to do the haul. We love it.
We love the haul.
The women have to.
Oh, we match it.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I didn't know you got that one. So fun.
I got that. And this is, I love this. I tried this one because I thought it looks heavy. I might be wearing like.
Oh, these are the earrings?
Yeah, this one is beautiful, honey. It's a sign of life.
Oh, wait. Let me get up.
Show the camera.
Oh!
Yeah.
My hand is
For
shaking.
$10.
$10, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, what's
All right, all right.
That's we need to do your haul.
Oh, we gotta do my haul. Okay, okay.
Give me the camera.
Hey, we're doing my haul.
this one?
Okay, we got 3 nice tote bags.
Yes.
Okay, so first thing on the list. We got my dad a shot glass. Had to do that. I got myself the same shot glass. Then we got my mom. Oh, I'm gonna break it. Oh no, this is the other shot glass. Then of course we got coffee.
Yum.
Yes. I got. Oh, did something come out? No, I got my dad a t-shirt.
Nice.
Same t-shirt that everybody is getting.
Yes.
Then we've got. Okay, almost done. My mom a coin pouch.
So
Coin
cute.
purse.
So cute.
And then this is the last. Is this my shot? That's my shot glass. Oh, she taped it up, but it's a little pottery pitcher.
Ooh.
Yeah, for my mom.
And the ring.
Oh, the ring. Right.
Give us a close up of the
Right
ring.
there.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Ring later.
Keep filming people. We'll put everything. Okay, who's going next?
Who's next?
I'll go next.
We're doing it.
Alright.
Salam.
Yeah, so while I put this
I got
away.
the knife that's in.
Nice.
Sorry guys, I'm not gonna use it.
Bella, you're so cute, honey.
I got a coffee
Hey, some coffee.
and
You got us some.
I got a milk.
Everything shaking.
Yes.
And I got some this scrunchie.
This bracelet.
Hey, your friend bought it for you. This bracelet
Bracelet.
and the tote.
And the tote.
Free tote.
All right, who's next? Okay.
Hi, my name's Kayla.
Hey, Kayla.
To the trauma dump candy salad, I bought this
I
Guatemala
love
shirt.
that.
Yes,
almost
thank
bought
you.
that.
I believe you got the
Oh wait, it was called what? The chicken bus?
Yes, that's the chicken bus.
Chicken bus.
Okay, chicken bus.
Because
Yeah.
Nelly and
Chicken.
Nelly explained it.
chickens, ducks, and people.
Yes,
All
all
in the
in
same
one
bus.
bus.
Oh,
All in
what?
one bus.
Yes,
So
that's why they call it the chicken bus.
chicken
Okay,
bus.
relax, be on that bus. Okay, and coffee.
Nice.
It's sticky. That's why they have the
Jade
windows
ring. Okay, not gonna give you that finger by itself.
Yeah. We want
And
to keep that
then
safe.
leather bracelet, and these two are free.
Oh yeah,
We're
we got a
free.
lot of free stuff.
So I think that's it for me.
All right.
All right, Amanda.
Last but certainly not least.
Yo quiero hablar en español.
Oh.
Yo compro una gorra, anaranado, y una bolsa. Gratis, bolsa, gratis, no dinero.
Amanda.
Los pantalones verdes. Overalls.
Oh, that's so
Y
cool.
crosses for me and my mom. Para mí y mi madre. These are my favorite. These were really cute for cars. And I got a bracelet for my dad. He doesn't wear bracelets, but if I buy him something, he'll probably wear it. I'd love to find it. It was somewhere.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah. It was pretty simple. I'll find it at some point, but you could just imagine it.
Wow.
Guys, the coffee. We will talk more about this coffee. But oh my gosh, the
Coffee was
coffee
amazing.
was so good. I still have a little bit left from the boys' home.
Justin and Kayla used all of mine. Yep,
Did they not get any?
they did. They did.
So you better take some of theirs.
There's nothing left.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I have
There's
a
no beans
little
left.
bit left and it's not like enough for a full cup. So I'm like, okay, I'll have to like
Mix it.
make well no, I don't want to mix it.
Oh, you
I'll
just
just have
wanna
to
make
make
a
a little cup, which that coffee So good. So we did a bunch of that day and ended up going to dinner that night too.
And we did McDonald's that day too.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I have all the pictures and I'm not even looking at it. I should keep up with. Oh, I don't have it in there though.
Yeah, after the shops and before the shops and after ziplining, I think it was our in between. Yeah, it was. Look at my pictures. It was the in between. So we went to McDonald's, and it was a Guatemalan McDonald's. They had the typical nuggets, fries, sodas. They had a whole bakery section. So like the McCafe area that was separate.
They had a dulce de leche.
It was so good.
So good.
Yeah, it was really good, and they had some different items. We found out after the fact on the list, on the menu, that we didn't have in New York.
Yeah, no, there was like some items with like guac and like, you know, some Spanish kind of takes on the McDonald's. But such a nice, huge, they had this nice open area. They had a fountain.
Outdoor. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, tables, umbrellas. They had the M sign with like swings in it for the kids. I was like, this is the nicest McDonald's I have ever walked into.
Yeah.
And the McDonald's coffee there was still amazing.
It's great.
And I'm like, wow, the food was really good. And it's just like nothing that compares. Like, can't compare.
Probably the best McDonald's I've been to.
Yeah. And it's funny because they were talking about it and they're just like, no, just wait. Just wait till you go here. Because, of course, it's like you think, oh, we're going to go for lunch to McDonald's. Like, yeah, sure, if that's what's available, like, fine. And they're like, no, just wait. It's great. Yeah. And it was really cool.
And then on the way to dinner, we stopped at that park. What do we want to call that? With the cross?
Yes!
It was kind of just like an overlook. I don't have the...
It was in Antigua.
It was.
Yeah. It was, saying this in Spanish, Calle Interna Parque Cerro de la Cruz. I am so sorry. For how poorly I pronounced that.
It's in Antigua.
It is Antigua. Yes, but it was like looking right out over the city. And then there was a volcano that was right behind that. And it was literally the pictures we got with it.
Yeah.
So cool. And so it was like a very like popular like spot. Everybody was there taking pictures and everything. And then I thought it was so cool. There was this guy walking around. I don't know if you noticed, but he had like hot chocolate and hot coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he was just like he had like a bag, like not a bag, like a pack and everything. Like it wasn't a stand. He was walking around like making hot chocolate, having the whipped cream and everything. I'm like, yo, this guy is
pretty cool.
I'm like, pretty cool. But yeah, so after that, then we
went to dinner. And that was at this place called El Deposito. I took a picture of the sign so that way I remember. And inside was like dark and moody, and there was like a whole library that we
cool.
went into.
Yeah.
That's like their bar area, I think. And not that we went to the bar, but there was just a different area of the restaurant. And we split food. We split two different entrees.
Yes,
so we could have like 50-50. So we got a pasta, and then, was it a sandwich?
It was like an open-faced sandwich with some steak and
yes, that's right. That was good. I don't have pictures of that for some reason, but I'm sure you do.
Yeah, I think I have.
So that ends night 0, and then...
night 1.
Oh, that's right, night 1.
Night 1.
We would transition night 1. So we would get up. We can't forget, we would get up with the sunrise.
Oh, yeah. So we made a point of, like, getting up super early because in this trip, like, it wasn't a vacation, and I wanted to make sure that every morning I was getting up to do, reading, the scriptures and preparing, myself for what we were about to go and do.
Yeah. And I think that's what catapulted me into getting it done every day.
Yeah.
Because I think even, like, before Guatemala, like, sure, I would do a study, like, maybe every other day or every 2 to 3 days. But, like, seeing you and then seeing Jim and, like, everybody getting up early and, like, reading their Bible, I was like, I need to get in on this.
Yeah.
I need to do this. So I read through Philippians?
I think I was going back and forth between Philippians and James. Because there was a verse in James.
Yeah.
It was actually James chapter 1. The end of the chapter. I'll pull it up real quick. I'll just read this starting at 22, I believe. Do not merely listen to the word and so deceive yourselves. Do what it says. Anyone who listens to the word but does not do what it says is like someone who looks at his face in the mirror and after looking at himself go away and immediately forgets what he looks like. But whoever looks intently into the perfect law that gives freedom and continues in it, not forgetting what they have heard, but doing it, they will be blessed in doing. Those who consider themselves religious and yet do not keep a tight rein on their tongues deceive themselves, and their religion is worthless. Religion that God our Father accepts as pure and faultless is this, to look after orphans and widows in their distress and to keep oneself from being polluted by the world. So day one, that was the passage that I had read, and like it was the end of that, the last verse where it's just like we're called to look out for those who are in need. We're called to go out and help the orphans and the widows in their distress. And you know, God has blessed us with so much ourselves, and we need to, you know, take the blessings that he has given us and to share that with others. You know, we're not called to keep it to ourselves and sit on it. So not only were we there to go share the gospel, but on top of that, we are also there to aid and to help in any way that we can. And so that was like the first passage that I had jumped into, and it was one of those moments like where I didn't really know where I wanted to go. I didn't know in the Bible where. I'm like, okay, you know, I wanted to start a study in James, which I'm currently doing. And so I was like, let me just start reading it. And I was like, oh, wow. I'm like, that was great. I'm like, thank you, Lord, because I needed to hear that, you know, going into this. And so, every morning it was like 5 a.m. I'd get up. And then, Jim, my partner up there, out there. And then Serena was there too. And then a couple of other people, we would be out there.
By like 6:30, I think almost everyone.
Yeah,
I would say almost everyone was up because that was when the coffee would go on. And if you were up with the coffee, it was a great time.
These ladies probably thought we were crazy with our
Marla
coffee.
Marla
and Carla, shout out. They cooked for us. They got up early to make us breakfast, to make sure the coffee was on. They made us, you know, dinner. Oh, they were so nice. So every morning it'd be like, hola, buenos dias. And so, they would always have the coffee on for us, and it was great. So, I had your coffee, and the area there was like a little balcony, and it looked out into the orphanage. Now, there's an orphanage that was a part of this house that they look after and everything. So that kind of looked out into, it was a beautiful view. It was such a nice area. Every morning early we'd get up. So that's how day 2 started. Day 2 was Sunday, so we were going to be going to church. And we went to 2 different churches. The
both
first one, both very different. One was, what was the name of this church?
IBEC is the abbreviation. In English, it's the International Evangelical Baptist Church.
Oh, okay, yes. Yeah.
So there was more of like the style of, I would say, plainage, where you did your worship in the morning. You did worship first, and it was, I think, 3 or 4 songs.
Yeah, something like that.
They sang them in Spanish.
But we knew them. One was Goodness of God.
Yes.
Which I love that song.
Yeah. And then I didn't know the other 2.
I forget what the other 2 were. But once Goodness of God came on, they had the lyrics. We knew that one. They had the lyrics, obviously, up there. And so I tried singing every now and then, like, in Spanish, like, reading along. And so then I'd slip into English every now and then and kind of,
they didn't know we were coming, so we kind of just, like, popped in and said,
they didn't. Because they said typically they like
would
to,
They would do in English.
Or have, like, a translator or something like that.
So they did that. From what I gathered, the sermon was about, I'm trying to remember back, sharing your testimony. Paul. I don't remember.
Yeah, a lot of, they had where you hold your phone and it like translated.
Google Translate had a transcribe option where it's a running translation. I didn't know about it till like Monday or Tuesday. Like I couldn't figure it out.
So a couple people always had that running. My phone, the entirety of this trip, it did not work. No service, nothing. And I couldn't get a hold of anybody. Nobody could get a hold of me. It was a fun experience.
Yeah. So that church, we met the worship leader. What was his? Do you remember his name? For some reason, I want to call him Ronaldo, but I don't think it was Ronaldo.
No.
And he loved like the Friends references.
Oh yes,
and, like, American TV shows and sports, and that's how
he said he got better with English because of that.
Yeah. And he was our age, early 20s, I want to say.
Yeah, early 20s.
And super cool.
Yeah.
Super sweet guy.
Yeah, he just came up to us and starts talking. So we were just talking with him and everything. And so that was cool. So when we left that church, this was a long...
Yeah, we went back to the house and we had to pack an overnight bag.
Yeah.
Because we were heading to the coast. And the coast was about 2.5 to 3.5 hours away. And
to drive to the second church.
It was hot over there.
It was very hot.
Like inland, it was nice and cool. It was probably like 70 degrees.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be hotter.
Yeah.
And then we get there and I'm like, oh, this is really nice.
Yeah.
But then when we got to the coast, it was like this is hot.
So that church that we went to was more of like a family, and then the community would come.
Yeah, this is where we started getting into the very poor areas of Guatemala. And so, yeah, a very small church, and like you said, they would the community would come. And then they had like dinner for them, and
can't forget about the café con pan.
Oh, it was
the sweet bread.
So good. After service, it's so funny. They just came around pouring coffee. These kids.
Doesn't matter how old you are.
Doesn't matter how old you are. Drinking coffee right before bed.
I was like, oh, okay.
I'm like, oh, this is different. But yeah, so you had the sweet bun. So good, and they had it. You dip it in the coffee right after the service, and I liked how the service was different. It was just the pastor with a guitar.
Yeah.
Pastor, he, played the guitar for some of the music, and it was almost like little, like, nursery rhymes that they would put, like, songs over, like, these hymns or whatever they were singing. I think, if I remember correctly, there was, like, one or two that we recognized.
Yeah.
Too. So, yeah, so...
We were supposed to be there.
Yeah, that's true.
So after the service, we thought we were going to be helping out with the feeding center, because there's a feeding center attached to the church that the church runs. And then it turns out that we were the activities committee. Self-volunteered, self-made. Yeah. So there's probably, oh my gosh, maybe like 10, 15-ish, maybe more kids.
Yeah, I would say. I feel like more started coming.
Yes.
And like...
So more from the community would start to come, and then we were like, let's just play games with them. Like, let's just play tag. Let's run around.
We started playing with these kids, running around. They...
Justin and I would like have kids like on our backs, like we're carrying them around.
Jump on you.
doing cartwheels with them, and then we started playing tag.
Yeah.
It was great.
It was like, we got so sweaty.
Oh my gosh.
So sweaty. And this was right before dinner.
Yes.
Right before they had tacos that they made, which were so good. Yeah, so we were just running around with these kids like crazy. And that was definitely, I'm like, this is great. I don't know. We didn't, I mean, some of us kind of could keep up a conversation, but like a lot of us didn't, you know, we didn't know how to speak Spanish, and we weren't able to like fully, you know, communicate, but like we all just,
it's a universal language when you're just like
when
playing
you're just
games
playing games, and it was a great night, and we all finished, you know, they called us and they were like, okay, food's ready or whatever, and it was great. We were sitting there eating, and we were just like dripping in
I felt
sweat.
bad. I was like, oh man, like I didn't help out with the food or anything.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm like, what do I do? Can I help in any way? And it's just like, no, that's what we were there to do.
like that was helping
the kids. And they were so sweet. They were so sweet.
Yeah.
And so after that night, we stayed at I guess you would call it a hotel.
Yeah.
It gave off like a little bit of like a motel vibe kind of, which was right on the beach, right on the water. It was so nice. I mean, so nice to be right on the water.
Yeah.
Nice for, you know, the area we were in. And so that was nice to get to shower for sure after that. That was nice.
Yeah. That was a great shower.
So that was the end of night 2.
Mm-hmm.
So we got up early. We didn't really get up that early.
No, we had time because all we were doing was breakfast.
Yeah. So we went to a feeding center that morning for breakfast.
And that was the Lady Anna, the pastor of the second church. That was his daughter.
Right? Yes. And this was right on the water. And so they fed us breakfast before then we left and went back to the hotel, and we had some time. So John did a little study, a Bible study, before going back. We forgot to talk about the one-eyed ostrich.
Have we gotten there? Yeah.
Did we get there yet? Yes, we
did.
did.
We did, because it was on the way to the hotel.
Yes. Anyway, we'll get there. So we got up and then went to the feeding center, went back to the hotel, and then we had time to kind of do whatever. So we all jumped into the water.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, I'm not going to stand here
It's the Pacific Ocean, people.
in Guatemala and not jump into the ocean that is literally feet away from me right now. So I jumped in, people were jumping in, and then after that we like hung out in the pool and everything for a bit, and then that's when we went back to the feeding center that we had breakfast at, and that's when the kids came for us to, you know, play with the kids again.
And the commentators.
Someone count it.
1, 2, 3, go.
You guys have to like go slow and let her win.
Hello, Bella.
This is not the time.
I think Bella was
Come back!
Humility in action.
Come back!
Rapido.
That's what we did that entire day. I again thought, okay, now it's time for us to, you know, help feed the kids, but like no, they just wanted us to go and play with the kids, and that was another, you know, it was a fun time. It really was.
2 of my favorite videos out of the whole trip are from that time at the feeding center.
Yeah.
There's one video where the one little girl takes that giant stick and puts it over her back.
I was the one who took that video, and I'm looking at this. I'm like, I have to take a video of this.
There's that one.
Oh.
And then when the same girl starts doing bottle flips.
Oh, the bottom.
Yeah, she's like, ah!
Oh my goodness. But these kids were like jumping off these giant not giant sand hills, that's an exaggeration, but these sand hills, swinging themselves off, like going for it, just running like crazy. And that's when they served shark, manta ray, and then shrimp. And that was good. Their food was really good. And so that was the beginning of day 2. Day 3. The beginning of day 3. That's what we did the majority of the day. And so quickly, brief side note, leading up to driving on Sunday to the coast, there was this one-eyed ostrich that was attached to a gas station. Yeah. There was a gas station and then like a convenience store. And then just a random fenced off habitat for this one ostrich. Yep. And he was the one-eyed ostrich. And you look and it's just like he had like both eyes, but like I guess either he lost one of them or whatever. But that's like this random, side of the street gas station with the one-eyed ostrich. Yeah. But yeah.
So then after that, we went to a coffee farm that is also a boys' orphanage. I can tell because of what we're wearing. That's how I'm doing the days. Yeah. So this coffee plantation was gorgeous. Oh, so nice. It was... You had your giant plants and tropical leaves everywhere, and then you had the coffee that they were growing, and a little soccer field for them to play on. Yeah. And these are boys that are like, 13 to 18 plus? Yeah. And their goal was, because typically with the orphanages in Guatemala, once they turn 18, you're expected to just go. Figure life out. But some of these boys, and girls too, I'm sure in other orphanages, they don't have it figured out. They don't have a place to go. They're not gonna get married off and have kids right away. So what they've been trying to do, or what Matt has been trying to do, is offer them jobs on the plantation or at the orphanage so that they can
build a skill. Build a skill also, so that when they do, go out, that they have that to lean on, and that they have something that they can have, I guess, a career, if you want to say, in that sense. But yeah, that was really cool too. We got there and it was after that they had the coffee for us, but we got there and the boys took us around, showing us how they make the coffee, how they grow the coffee, the stages, the 2 different kinds of beans that they grow. Yeah. So that was really cool. It was gorgeous. It was like walking into a garden. It was really nice.
It literally was.
Yeah.
I also have to throw in that not only were we missions for the kids and the adults, but we were missions for the dogs.
The dogs. All the dogs. Oh my gosh, I'm just come here. Yeah. Just come to me.
It was we made sure that every dog got the rubs.
Yep. Every dog got a little bit of love.
Yeah. And that was great. Yeah. So we went through the coffee plantation, how they make the beans. We were able to roast some beans. Yep.
And then at the end they sell their beans. Yep. And then also the boys made jewelry. Yes. Like bracelets. Oh, I didn't wear mine. And that they sold those for money as well. So we were buying the coffee and buying whatever knickknacks that they had there to buy.
And then once we were done there, we went to this restaurant that they were normally closed on Mondays, but they opened it for us specifically, and you look out, I mean, it was dark at this point, but you can kind of see.
Yeah, it was really nice because
Yeah.
you saw all the lights of the city.
They call it
nice.
the Volcano Restaurant. That's like their slang term for it, because everywhere you look, you're surrounded by volcanoes.
Yeah,
You have to go
it's
there.
like 3 major volcanoes
Something like that.
that when you're able to see it, like I guess in the daylight, you're able to like see them around. And we went there to take the boys from the boys' home out.
Yeah.
To bring them out and have that time. So again, we were playing with these kids, running around like crazy. Once we ate, we were there for a while. They were playing worship music, and it was another time where we were able to just be with these kids and
And I think that's something that I know, like me going into the missions trip, I totally didn't think that was like part of missions. Like my thought process was, okay, like we're going here, we're gonna have to talk about the gospel, like I gotta make sure I know my stuff, like I and instead of thinking of it like that, I really should have been like, no, like how is God gonna use me? And even just playing tag, even just running around with them, even just like holding one of them on my hip and just walking around with them, like that is also ministry. And I think that was a big eye-opening experience for me, and something that like now I take and I apply here. Then
the next day we were creating bags of food to bring to houses, our house visits, which was
Tuesday and Wednesday.
Those were where we were able to start really sharing the gospel.
And probably the most challenging days, because you hear it, these people opened up their home for us, these people shared their testimony with us, and you're just sitting there and you're like, back home, like I have not concrete walls, I have painted walls with
floors.
Not dirt floors. I have food on the table, thank God, every single day. Like these people are working, and every day their wage is what, like $3, $4, something like that, and that's like a meal out, that's like a cup of coffee. And like imagine working the whole day and then being like, do I want to use this money on a cup of coffee? Like that, I don't know, it's just nuts to me. So that was Tuesday and Wednesday was the house visits, and I think the most eye-opening time. We also did some feeding centers. We did house visits in the morning, and then the feeding centers. The pastor that was taking us around, he encouraged each and every single one of us to say something to the people that we visited. Are we talking about Peter or PJ? Because PJ just called on everyone.
PJ. Oh no, it wasn't a volunteer. It was like, you are going to say something. And I mean, the Lord definitely gave us, the words to say and what to share for each individual, family that we visited. And that was one of the most, I think, important days. Because what I believe it was PJ was saying, like, we're here to support you, we're here to bring the food, we're here to really help. He's like, but that's not the main goal here. He's like, the main goal is to share the gospel and encourage them to come to church, and so he was like, and so that's what we are here to do. And so he had each one of us, he's like, if you don't, I'm gonna call on you. And so we all,
because a big thing down there is that church is for the weak, church is for the sick, and church is for the people that need help. So if you're like, if you feel like you don't need help and you're just like, no, like I'm good, then like you don't go to church down there. And that's something that Pastor PJ was trying to battle, because he wants his people to go to church.
And so like one of the main points was just like, you might be all right now, but you might be a blessing to someone who isn't. Like, we all need the community. We all need one another. Fellowship is so important in the body of Christ, So for, someone who is doing all right, that could be a testimony and a blessing to someone who isn't. And so to encourage, to continue to go to church and to make it out. That was, his main, focus. The last day, day 5, we went to a Mayan village, which it was really sad because they are looked
down upon.
Majorly. They are almost like they are thought of like less than dogs, they were saying. And so this was definitely the poorest place that we did visit. And so we got there, and this is where we were doing lice treatment for the kids and also washing their feet. They were saying that, in the conditions that they live, they can't get rid of the lice, but these treatments are to at least help keep the effects at bay almost. It was really sad. They were saying that, like, there was a little girl who was on her way to get a treatment for the lice, and she died on the way there because of it. And that they also did the feet washing because they would get worms in their feet. And just recently they said that they opened up a clinic, and so it really has helped the death rate to drop. So we all had our part. There was a station for people putting the solution for the lice treatment, rubbing that in their hair. Then once they got that, they would transition because they had to have, they put like shower caps on the kids and everything. So and then they transitioned to feet washing. So then there was some of us, washing their feet, cutting their nails, cleaning. And they were saying like, look out for any worms, because then they'd have to be brought to the clinic. So whoever was washing their feet had to also like examine the feet. And then once their feet were cleaned, then they came to like the hair washing station. And so then we washed out the solution and their hair. And then once their hair was clean, then they brought them to where some of us were brushing and braiding the girls' hair. And then the boys' hair was the easiest to deal with, for sure. And then once that was done, then we were just playing with the kids again. And then after that, then they went back home, and then they came back to eat. that's when we served them again. Or not again, but served them at this location. There was 2 locations that we, 2 or 3. It was like 2 locations that we actually fed these kids. And while some of us were staying behind doing that, we like split up, and then a group went to go build stoves for a couple of the houses. So it's not like a stove that we have in our house. It was like a brick cement stove.
I would say it's like cement with this pipe that goes up. Sometimes it goes through the roof. Sometimes they have to drill a hole. And it just helps mitigate the fact that if you're cooking with fire, you're not inhaling that. It's going out of the house and stuff.
Yeah, so that was... that's what we did on the last day. And then we did a couple more house visits that day. And that was the day that we had to climb.
Oh, that hill.
Oh, no, I think it was the day before.
Tuesday was the hill.
Tuesday was this hill?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Literally like this.
Not even stairs. It was like bricks that were like just paved like... Literally, you were like climbing almost like a 90-degree angle. It was like it was the
I would say
steepest.
It was about 45 degrees.
Yeah, it was like the steepest you could have before. It was just like impossible to walk up. It was wild. It really was. So we walked up that house or to the houses that and that's where we gave food. And then in the Mayan village we also went to another house where then we gave and heard their testimony or their story, their life story, where we were able to share our testimonies and sharing the gospel with that. And then after that, then I believe we went back. But it was an amazing experience, and, I pray that I'll be able to have, like, another experience like that, because I think it is very important, and...
Either 2 years or 4 years. I forgot what John said.
Yeah, and I mean, in the meantime, we are in a mission field every single day, right outside our doors, so there's nothing that's stopping us from doing it, because there is such an, importance in missions, and it's our calling, and it's what we have to do. And so being
this
able
so well with our last episode.
I know.
I was thinking about that.
So it was an amazing experience, but it has kind of pushed me to be like, you got to get out there. You got to do more. And, being able to be there for the kids and providing these treatments, just being there, showing that we care and that we do genuinely, love them. And so, coming back, it was bittersweet, where it's just like, we did a lot of hard work. So like coming back, it was nice, but also it's just like, it's hard leaving the situation, leaving them in their situation and like coming back to where we are. So it was definitely eye-opening and it humbling. Very humbling, because it's not everybody is blessed the way we are here in this country. So I definitely want another opportunity. So going out, it definitely was humbling, and I hope to be able to have another opportunity like that in the future, to be able to go out, sharing God's word, but also like helping those in need, like it says in the James verse, says in Isaiah, to be able to do that.
Yeah, and even says, like, even Jesus went out and did it. Like, you look at the Samaritan. Yeah. The guy that's on the side of the street.
Yeah. That was like an aggressive
Yeah, I think it was, this is being my second missions trip. Just like you said, an eye-opening experience, of course, but also at the same time, how you don't have to always have the words to speak. It's the actions that also drive, showing God's love to other people. And I think that's one of the major takeaways for me, was that, it doesn't always as much as you would want it to come down to, oh, do you have a faith? Like, what do you believe in? Whatever. You know, just by actions and deeds alone, like, you can be God's light for someone. And I think that's the takeaway.
Yeah, let your actions show your faith rather than your words.
Yeah, because not everybody wants to have a conversation.
Yes, yeah. All right, and that was our recap. And before we end, me and Serena got matching bracelets when we went to one of the shops, the market. We got like 3 free bracelets they would give us. And so one of the shops, this lady, she gave us these really cute bracelets, and so me and Serena were like, we got to get matching ones. So now we have matching bracelets to remind us of the time in Guatemala, and they're really pretty too. So, but yeah,
I have not figured out how to take it off.
Oh, I constantly take mine off and on.
Oh well,
I'll show you.
okay.
But yeah, so that was our Guatemala recap. I hope you guys enjoyed this longer, lengthy episode. But yeah, I think it's super important to keep reminding ourselves of the things that we learned on this trip and to share it with others. So catch us next week with another episode of Heart of Gratitude. We are always happy to be here. All right. Bye.
Bye.